How I went from $0 savings to over 120,000 using one simple rule, and how you can too. If you're a hardworking parent feeling like you're stuck in a never-ending grind, struggling to save money, and worried about how to build a better future for your family, this blog is for you. I know what it feels like to live paycheck to paycheck with little to no savings in a bank. I know the fear of thinking, what if I lose my job? What do I do? But here's the thing. I found a way out, and it starts with one powerful idea that changed everything for me. Stick with me, because in the next few minutes as you read this blog post, I'm going to show you how I went from $0 to 120,000, leading my family to financial security while teaching myself and my kids how to truly thrive. Now look, you want financial freedom for yourself and your family, and I'm here to tell you it's possible, even if you're starting small. You don't have to be rich for this at all. And if you tried saving or investing before, but feel like you failed, it's not your fault. Most of us have never been taught how to make money work for us. And you don't need to be rich to get started, like I said. You just need a plan, and I'm here to show you how I did it. And yes, the traditional advice about saving and RRSPs isn't enough to truly build wealth, but there is a better way, and I'm going to show you. The system wasn't built to teach you how to thrive. It's actually designed to keep you grinding. So let's change that. I always had that goal initially about how could I get that first $100,000 in my bank account. So if anything were to ever happen and we needed emergency or whatever, we had it. And the cool thing is it just keeps growing. So the next time I revisit, this could be 200,000, 500,000, even $1 million by 2025. But the thing was, I really didn't believe in myself. I grew up poor. I grew up in poverty. I grew up not knowing when the next meal was going to come from. And these ideas of being financially free were not ingrained in me. These are things that I had to figure out on my own. All right, here's my big promise is after reading this whole blog post, you're going to find the secrets to my financial transformation and learn that it's not about working harder or getting lucky or how educated you are. It was more about learning to prioritize yourself and your family by paying yourself first and sticking with it no matter what. With this formula I'm going to teach you, and this isn't just about money, it's about creating freedom, security, and a better legacy for your family and your kids. Let's start out with secret number 1, the 3-step formula for building wealth. All right. So I learned this basically from reading a lot of books and self-study, really wanting to change my life because I was struggling. I was struggling so much to pay the bills, to be a father, to just stay afloat. And and I learned that you can get other people's knowledge from their trials and errors through reading their books and watching their programs, listening to their podcasts, paying for coaching, and really learning how to invest in, I think is the greatest investment, is your knowledge. And so going through these books, I seen a trend, pay yourself first. All the biggest wealth builders and financial experts were always saying this in all these books I was reading, and I just kept hearing it and seeing it over and over again. And the first part of the formula was to pay myself first. And it was some really great advice for someone who has extra money, but not me. I didn't have that extra money. But what I learned is I could cut a lot of things out. Instead of going out for coffee, I could make coffee at home. Instead of eating out, I could learn to cook for myself and to prepare food. Instead of going out for recreational, like going out to the movies, we could do a movie at home with popcorn that we make ourselves. And learning just to dial back some expenses, I learned that I did have a lot of money. There was money there to be freed up. And so every paycheck I had, and every time I got paid, because I used to work a job at the Source in the mall selling electronics, just learning how to take a little piece of that and pay myself first. And the cool thing was, let's fast forward to 2024. Every time I won a powwow, like $1,000, because I developed this habit before, I learned this strategy before, it was easy for me to say, okay, let me put away $100 out of this 1,000. And it was really cool because at first it doesn't seem like much. $100, cool. That's not financial freedom. That's nothing. But to see that grow to 200, to 500, to 1,000, to 3,000, then you're like, oh man, this is getting exciting. Because over time, as you keep saving, it has no choice but to grow a bag, to get a little heavy.
Yeah, babe, I don't know if it's a good
which
idea
is
to take these.
really, really awesome. And so that was the first part, just learning that part, and that anyone can do this. Doesn't matter if you're, working a job at McDonald's and you're getting $800 paycheck, to get $80 out of that and pay yourself and say, this is for me, this is for my future, this is for my growth, this is for my kids, this is for my family, this is sacred. I feel like anyone could do that. Anyone can get into the habit of that, of just paying yourself first. And it gets exciting because you start seeing your savings grow and grow. But the thing is, a lot of people, their only thought, as we get into secret number 2, which is to put your savings to work and invest it. We haven't really been taught this. It just seems like it's a secret of the rich. And you realize that savings alone won't get you financial freedom. The key is to learn how to put the money to work so it could start earning even more money. And the problem is we haven't been taught this. We haven't been taught how to do that other than putting into a savings account. And recently I was at the bank and I seen their high interest savings account over a year was 0.02%, not even 1%, or it was 20% of 1%, sorry, like 0.2% over a year. And that's not going to get you anywhere. You're going to be saving for so long, and you're going to feel defeated as your savings earns 25 cents for the year. That's not a way to get ahead. And then they sell you RRSPs, and you don't even know the fees behind them, the commissions. That a bank is a business, and it's their job to sell products to get commissions on and to make money. And I learned a lot about banking, that as soon as you deposit your money, they put that money to work by giving mortgages out, loans, and their credit cards and all that. And when you pull out money, it's just from their profits. They just got to do ones and zeros on a spreadsheet to make sure that when you have the money to pull out, that it's there. But for them, they take that money, the banks, and they do this exact formula. They put that money to work. So they're making 20, 30, 40% on their money from giving out high interest loans and mortgages and lines of credit to all the people. And that way they're making money. And so they're not on your side. And I learned that the hard way. So we think, okay, putting our money to work, RRSPs, or even buying stocks. If you don't understand the game, what happens is the people who do end up with all the money. And I had to learn. I started investing in knowledge to learn about crypto, to learn about this area of crypto. And over the years, I've lost a lot of money. I made some money, but lost even more money. But I kept studying, and I kept buying courses. I kept learning off experts. I kept buying books around the subject. And I got better at it. And I learned how it works. And so now when I had this pile of money, we grew to $5,000. I put it into crypto, into different assets, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and altcoins. But I really did my research. It wasn't such a gamble. It wasn't such a, I'm going to just test this out. It was really strategic. There wasn't no guesswork to any of this. It was really planned out. And I think when it comes to the investing part, you should really have a plan and really learn how to put it to work. And each investment taught me something new and brought me closer to my goals. It had to do with a lot of patience, a lot of discipline. And there's times too where I could have used this money that we had invested and compounded. I could have easily took it all out and had to start from zero again. But to have the willpower and the why, it was carried me through all those hard times where you feel like you need to use it. And just to be thinking, okay, instead of using this, how could I develop new money, new opportunities for me to carry me through so I don't have to use this? And I think that's going to really test your character, and it's going to test your willpower, which leads to secret number 3 within this formula. Sorry, it's not secret number 3, but the 3-step formula is to reinvest for exponential growth. Take what you're making from your investments, instead of using it to go on a trip or to buy yourself something cool or treat your family, is to compound it back in. I believe Einstein said the biggest wonder of the world is compound interest. And here's the magic: when your money starts making money, you reinvest those gains and your growth becomes exponential. Example is, if you invest $1,000 and it grows by 10%, that's $100. You reinvest that, and then next year you're earning $1,100, and over time it snowballs to massive growth. But I did it in a short amount of time within 2024, and this is how I grew from 5,000 to 120,000. And why I'm aiming for $1 million by 2025 is by using this power of exponential growth through the power of compounding. And the cool thing is, anyone could use this formula. So recap is, pay yourself first, even if it's 1%. Try to get to that 10%. Put that savings to work by investing it, and reinvest your profits for exponential growth, the power of compounding. Now, a really good book that will illustrate all this in greater depth is The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason, and I recommend that everyone read that book to get a little bit of financial literacy in their lives. That's what you want to do. And so now we're going to go to secret number 2, which is, of people say, that sounds cool, but I need all my money. I need to pay for all my bills, and everything is eaten away. By the time I'm done paying for everything, there's barely enough for myself to go to a movie or to go to dinner, or when I'm drowning in credit card debt. How could I do this formula? And the secret is not so much about forcing yourself, but to realize that to start small. When you start small, it becomes easier, because let's say you got $1,000, and instead of 10%, which is $100, you do 1%, which is $10. And the secret is not how much it is. I learned the secret is the habit, and what you want to do is get the habit. And the reason why we buy a lot of things, like your favorite food spot, your favorite coffee spot, gambling at the casino, is because it gives you dopamine. It gives you dopamine every time you spend that money, because you get a little thrill out of it, whether it's shopping. And so just be aware of how you're spending your money. And then you're going to realize that you could get dopamine from investing. Because you can, if you had a goal, let's say your goal was, man, I want to get to 10,000. Each time you put $10 in, you got to trick your mind to getting dopamine to be like, man, this is awesome, because every time I do this, I'm getting closer to my goal of 10,000. And a cool way to get dopamine is to really develop a reason why you're investing, and not just blindly just do it. So the power of why is cool, because imagine you have 2 buildings and you're on top, and there's a fire that broke out on the other building. Now, you had a wood plank to cross onto the building that has fire in it. Now, you have no reason to do that. There's no reason why to go to the burning building. But now let's say someone you love is on the top of the burning building, and they're too afraid to walk across, and they need your help. Maybe it was someone you truly love, like a nephew or a niece, or even your children. You have such a strong reason why to cross that building that you're going to do it no matter what, to go save the person you love. And you go do it because you have a strong reason why, and you do it without thinking. That's the kind of reason why you want to develop for your investing. Something that will help push you through everything. And It's a strong enough why for you to get through all the stories you're going to tell yourself in your head of why this is too hard or why you can't do it. That your reason why will be like, you know what, I don't care. I'm going to make this happen because I have a strong reason why. And and when you have that, investing becomes so much more easier. And start small, start at 1%, then get to 5%, then get to 10%, and really just develop that habit and try to develop dopamine each time you do it. Celebrate yourself. Give yourself a big round of applause, a huge high five, because you went and did one little step towards your goal. And that's going to make it so worth everything because you have a strong reason why. And one way I figured this out was when I was a dancer and just starting out, I was so afraid. Everyone was going to laugh at me. Everyone's going to see me screw up. Everyone's going to see me not stop on time. Everyone's going to laugh at my one move that I created. And at first, I gave them all the reasons why to do every single one of those things. But every time I went out there, I got a little better and my confidence got better. Every time I went out for another song, I got more experience. And now dancing over 25 plus years, I'm one of the top dancers in the world. But it was because I kept showing up and I kept doing it. I kept trying and I kept learning from my lesson. I kept learning from every time I lost, every time I fumbled, and I got back up and I stayed consistent with it. And now I get hired to dance all over the world. And that wouldn't have happened hadn't I got over those initial hurdles of feeling scared, feeling overwhelmed, feeling fearful. And now I have so much confidence when I dance powwow that I feel like I'm going to win everywhere I go. And that's how I'm starting to feel with investing is I'm going to win every time I invest. So this is something that you learn. It's like a muscle. And this goal isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. And every little bit of you save is a step forward to financial freedom. All right. Now to secret number 3 is, okay, cool. You're thinking, yeah, I could save a little bit of money. I could pay myself first and get past all the bills and realize my whole lifestyle is not going to change much by paying myself first. I just don't know where to put my money. And that's a good question because this is where a lot of people get hung up, is where the heck do they put their money? And this is something, the cool thing is there's a lot of people out there that figured this out. And Tony Robbins says you have the opportunity to get decades of knowledge in a matter of days through reading a book of somebody's personal story of how they figured it out. Or else listening to podcasts around a certain subject like real estate or stocks and bonds, options trading, day trading, forex trading, buying gold and silver and flipping it, cryptocurrency. There's so many people out there that figured this whole game out. And if you could just pick one of those studies, you're going to get really good at it. And you're going to get a lot confident at it, where you could start putting your money to work for you. And that's the key, is to model someone who's done it, who's in a place that you want to be, and just copy what they're doing. And that's exactly what I've done. At first, when I got into cryptocurrency, I was looking for, hey, I want to get rich quick. I want to make money fast. And I put myself in a lot of money schemes where I put in a lot of money and literally got ripped off and all that money was gone. Thousands and $30,000 gone like that. And then putting even more money in and also leading other people into investments in crypto where they lost money. And I felt so ashamed, so scared. But you know what I did? I kept going. I kept learning. I kept buying another book about it. I kept buying another course on it. I kept buying coaching. I spent up to $8,000 just spending money to spend an hour with somebody just to obtain their knowledge about the subject of investing in crypto. And now I'm part of high-end newsletters and groups where I pay thousands of dollars just to be a part of their groups, so I could see what coins they're buying and the research that they're doing around each coin project. And this really helped me out to learn the game of crypto. So by the time I want to put my money to work and my family's money to work, we're not doing it out of wishful thinking. We're not doing it out of, hey, hopefully this works, and crossing our fingers and wishing on a unicorn that this is going to work. This is knowledge that I have attained from investment in myself. And so that's what you want to do, is you want to learn off of somebody who's doing it. You want to learn off of somebody who is making it happen, and then follow exactly what they're doing, and you should get similar results as them. And that's the formula in this blog post, and I really hope that it really helped you out. So I'm going to ask you a quick question. Could I offer you something here? One of my passions is really helping people and teaching people how to succeed, whether it's mindset, abundance, energy, law of attraction, cryptocurrency, business, marketing, fundraising. These are the things that I have a passion for. And I learned that it's cool for me and my family to get ahead. But what gives me even more love and joy and happiness is to teach other people, especially fathers like myself, who are trying to give their family a better life, how to do these things. And so I developed a training on cryptocurrency, abundance, and energy manifesting that I want to offer you. And if you click on the link just below this blog post, it's going to give you more information about how you and I could work together. So if you're interested in that, click on the link below. It's going to take you to that. And I'm going to give you a free presentation teaching you exactly what this is about and how to really get to the next level in your life. So hopefully this blog post was good for you. If it was, like, share, comment, and we'll talk soon.